Sand Point. I used to hang out at Sand Point when I was a teenager. That's where we went before the storm of '85 washed Sand Point away. There used to be a beach out there that went out 100 yards, beautiful sand beach. It went away in one night in a storm in 1985. We like to hike the cliffs behind Sand Point. Of course, that's where the Ice Fest is.
Yeah.
We used to run up and down dunes at Sand Point. We used to drive on the dunes till we got stuck over on Asavo before they stopped allowing us to do that, for good reason, you know. But. And I like to encourage people to go see Asavo Falls from the bottom, because it's 386 steps down to the bottom and therefore 386 steps back up to the top. Probably the most notorious thing that we ever did, which is of course not allowed now, when we were teenagers and the park was brand new and there were no rules, there were no roads. We used to go to the log slide with at night with tires, and we'd fill them with gasoline, light them on fire, and roll them down the log slide up until they stopped allowing us to do that. That was entertainment for juvenile delinquent teenagers. Until it became a park, or until it was actually the mid-'70s before they actually started to develop facilities out there. We had it to ourselves. It was wilderness. It was a lot of it was untouched and hardly accessible. And so we pretty much did anything we want, anytime we wanted, anywhere we wanted in the park. And of course you can't do that anymore. I would like to fish the 7 Mile again without having to walk down into the Beaver Basin. They formed the Grand Isle National Recreational Area in 1990, which is why I moved back to the UP from Western Washington, because my family's roots are on the island. They go back until 1840 on the island. And I had a very vested interest in what they did with Grand Island. And in 1990, there was still a lot of resentment towards the Park Service, the Department of Interior, and many people, including myself, lobbied very hard to make sure that Grand Island National Recreation Area did not become a part of the park, and that it instead went to the U.S. Forest Service, who have a multi-use mandate, and it became a U.S. Forest Service National Recreation Area. And it complements the park very nicely. The two agencies share a visitor center. They get along really well. There's some other added benefits of the park staff in that they bring in a cadre of diverse professionals that are very community oriented. So therefore the community has a chance to draw on a diverse group of professionals as volunteers that we wouldn't normally have access to. Botanists, planters, geologists, and most of them are very actively involved in the community too, and we appreciate that. It also gives, has a very strong youth conservation corps component that provides summer employment in the park to local youth, which is very valuable. You know, and if I had to stress anything, Vicki, it's the fact that we are just very fortunate to live where we live and have this wonderful public land recreational gem as our backyard. And we have a very good relationship with the Park Service, and we appreciate and never take for granted the beauty of Pictured Rocks. It defines our community. If you look on our logo, there it is. It is who we are. I will say this, there is a place in the park that I and maybe 50 people are aware of that I'm sure most of the Park Service staff has never been to, which I feel is probably the most beautiful spot in the park, and that's all I'm going to say about that.